rice. It's one of the world's most important and most versatile of foods. And one of the great culinary marriages is that of rice and the chicken. It's a splendid combination of carbohydrate and protein, which can't help itself from tasting superb, as it does in the Consuming Passions recipe for chicken pilau. Let's start with the preparation for the rice. That consists of sautéing quite a large quantity of thin onion slices in a combination of oil and a tiny amount of butter, or you could substitute margarine. Once the onion has started to soften, I remove half of them. And into the pan I put a cup of rice. I'm using a long grain rice, one that was bought parboiled. It's excellent for this dish. I just have to lightly brown it with the onions. At the last minute, I add some finely chopped garlic. You could use minced garlic. And of course, garlic wimps may omit this stage. Now I pour in some chicken stock, just to cover and then a little more. On goes the lid, down goes the heat, and it's just allowed to simmer at that wonderful bloop, bloop rate that I like so much. Now to the chicken. I buy skinned, boned thigh, and about 500 grams would be enough for 4 people in this pilau. I simply cut it into bite-sized pieces. Once cut, I get a very clean plastic bag and put in some spices. Coriander, a couple of teaspoons, and 5 spice. Shake it about, and then put in the chicken pieces. And shake them all about. 5 spice, of course, that fabulous combination of star anise, cinnamon, cloves, Szechuan pepper, and fennel. Once they're well coated, they're ready for cooking, and I just gently saute them in a little oil, some sesame oil and perhaps a peanut oil or an olive oil, one that's low in saturated fat. 3 or 4 minutes, and when they're cooked, I remove them and toast some nuts. Pecan nuts are fine, or of course we could use the macadamia nut, the Australian nut, or a combination of the two. But don't forget that nuts are high in fat, the good fats, but nevertheless high in fat. Once toasted, they're removed, and I add some corn kernels, stripping them from this cob. They just need a few seconds of sautéing in the pan. They have to get nice and brown. It's a technique used in a lot of Southwest American cooking. And really good corn doesn't need more than this. I also toss in a few currants and just let them warm through. By now the rice should be cooked. Let's check it. It is. It's now just a matter of combining all the ingredients, the rice with the chicken, the nuts, the currants, the corn, and it's almost ready to serve. One more thing, remember those reserved onions? Yes, they just have to be quickly browned, and I choose to do this in a non-stick pan, and then placed on the top. Sprinkling of coriander, optional, but I love it, and a little black pepper. And there it is, the Consuming Passions Chicken Pilau. I like to accompany the chicken pilau with a cucumber and tomato salad, and I think that a glass of an Australian Riesling would be absolutely perfect. From Consuming Passions, till next time, bon appétit.